Something I've realized now, and this is taking me like 4 years to realize, is that succeeding is doing like the unsexy stuff, like doing the unsexy shit, like just doing. It's not starting something new. It's sticking with the same thing and mastering that thing and doing the same thing every day that you know is going to move you closer to becoming a master of what you do. Because the people that make the most money in this world, they have mastery of their craft. They found what they love, first of all. They didn't stop. They kept doing it year after year after year after year. Even when it got boring, they just kept doing it. And then lastly, they didn't quit. Like when they faced obstacles and they faced difficulties, like, because if everyone goes through difficulties, like difficulties are a given in anything you do in life, but especially in business, because you don't know what you're doing in the beginning, and so like you have to learn all those things. And then the people that are at the top, that are at the best of what they do, they've done the same thing for like 15 years, 10 to 15 years, which is why they are so good at it. And they do like the basic stuff properly. But like my problem that I had for a long period of time was that I was like, I got bored, and so like I switched things. But like it's not a bad thing to switch things. You should switch things until you find the thing that you can't switch anymore, that you just can't stop. And for me, that's like YouTube. Like I love YouTube, but I could only fall in love with YouTube after I'd done all these other business models, because I was like, I don't want to sell things on the phone. I don't want to really like have to convince people. And like with YouTube, you don't have to do any of those things. Like YouTube is like the only business that I know where you don't have to sell things, you don't have to convince people. Like YouTube goes and finds the audience for you that's meant for your content. Like it's just the best thing in the world. And like I couldn't have known that if I didn't do all those other things and then give up those other things because I wasn't enjoying it. But now like I can't, like, to get to where I want to be, which is making $1 million a year this year, and then potentially $1 million a month afterwards, is that I can't stop. Like I just have to do the boring things, because like it gets boring after a while. Yes, it does. Like there's a few days sometimes where it gets extremely boring, like doing the same thing over and over. But like that is what makes you a master. It's what gives you mastery. Like you don't get mastery of doing something once. You get mastery from doing something multiple times over multiple years until you can't not do it properly, until you can't not perfect it. Like you are taking action towards perfection every single day, and after a long period of time, like 3-4 years, you're gonna execute that thing to perfection, to the point where you can't fail and you can't do it wrong, because you've just done it so long. Like look at anyone that is successful. They have dedicated their lives to like one thing. Most of the time it's one thing. Michael Jordan, Gervonta Davis in boxing, Alex Hormozi in business, like they've dedicated themselves to like one thing, and they became good at that one thing. And then only once like they got to that one thing, only once they made their livelihood around that one thing, then they expanded into different things. But they first mastered their craft and became the best at that one thing. And so anyway, this is just a message to myself. Like I make videos on this channel to kind of clear my thoughts and to just share things that I'm thinking about, because it helps me fundamentally understand it better. Like if you can teach someone else what you're going through and like what you're learning, then it means that you understand it properly. And so like I just make videos on this channel because this is what I love doing. Like honestly, I just love doing this, and like I said, it helps me nerdate through what's going on in my mind and help me understand things better so that I can move towards the goals that I have. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.